Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host Brian, and today I'm talking Summer House Season 8, Episode 6. Start your engines. All right, so as we remember from last week, Carl did not come down on Friday because he was trying to avoid an argument with Lindsay. He will be arriving in this episode on Saturday. They are all going. I don't think actually no, they're at the dinner table. They made dinner. It was Lindsay and Sierra made dinner. Kyle makes a comment about Jesse hitting on Paige um, the first weekend, and Carl, if we remember that Craig is there, so he actually doesn't take it as bad as I thought he would. He was like, "Oh, how could you not hit on her? Like she's good looking." Amanda is mad at Kyle for making this comment out loud to everyone. Paige thinks that it's a deeper issue, that maybe it's something that related to Kyle saying something, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, about like she's not ready to have a family or start a family, and that's where she's kind of tired. Like maybe she's taking it out on Kyle. But I mean, he's an idiot for saying it too. Like I don't know why. If they're he shouldn't have said that. It was stupid. Um, they go out later that night. Kyle does talk to Lindsay, and he lets her know that he wants to know both sides of their arguments. Like obviously, he is probably going to lean more towards Carl because of their friendship, but he just wants to know where she's coming from, things like that. Kyle says something to her about along the lines of like, I think he wants marriage more than an actual relationship. And Lindsay's like, what the fuck? Um, she's kind of annoyed that he's always asking her like, how many drinks have you had? Things like that. And a quote from her, I'm not the one with the drinking problem, so I don't know why he's asking me that. So, and then so she's making comments to him because she's making comments to him about like what are you on and things like that because he's making those comments to her. I mean, it's just telltale signs that this is like not a good thing, not a good thing at all. And I mean, the writings on the wall with like those just kind of the way that she was saying things like that and just taking. And I mean, she also says that like he only likes he's in a good mood when she's like in a good mood, and like I can't always, I know that she's like a crazy drunk and really annoying and doesn't take accountability, but at the same time, like I'm not gonna say this, but I just think that it's gonna be hard with somebody who's in the sobriety like lifestyle to be with somebody like Lindsay. It's just like there's a lot of factors that just don't always work. I don't know why he expects. I think she also, I think both of them alluded to like, hey, he thinks that she's gonna like change or something like that, and it's just like I don't know why he thinks that. Like, what, this is season 8, he should know her by now. Like the things aren't gonna change. So next morning, Carl shows up. He buys go karts for them. This was like his big reveal. He was really excited. They have this huge theme party. So the way I was looking at this is like this dude doesn't have a job. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at right now with like my thinking with this him. Like obviously, Lindsay is ridiculous, but at the same time, like who's paying for all this stuff that he's buying? Because this isn't like $100 thing. Like this definitely was a couple K. Like the whole setup he had. He rented like a red Corvette placeholder. I don't even know what they're like, a pace car, and that he drove that into the backyard. So I'm wondering how much this ran him, and I don't know if Lindsay was involved with the payments and all, but like he doesn't have a job, and I mean I guess he's maybe from his maybe they have a budget for the show. I just don't know the ins and outs of like how things are working there, but I'm just wondering how no one questioned it. I was thinking the entire time. Um, I mean, it looked cool. They had like a little setup, like a blow up, and it was like a track, and then they had like bikes in there, and they were like racing. And Kyle like pushes Wes because he was winning while they're racing, and he like cuts himself with his sharp sunglasses. But everyone's like dressing up for the part. Like Craig is like a auto body guy. Like he has like the jumpsuit with the tire. All the girls dress in like racing outfits along those lines, trying to look good, sexy. And the guy, Sierra also wore like a really, she was funny. She wore like a wacky inflatable arm man costume over top of her, like her party gear. That was really cool. It was funny. Kyle was evil Knievel, like just being Kyle. Lindsay made not Lindsay, Amanda made a comment like everybody looks good, and then like Kyle looks like hired help. So I thought like a hired like actor to play there. I thought it was funny. So Sierra, uh, Sierra's past with Austin is brought up. I think I forget who brought it up. I think it was I think Kyle told Jesse. I think is what it was. It wasn't Craig. Kyle told Jesse about, or not? He told Wes about. I think he might. I don't even remember. They all might have been there, but Austin was too much on my TV screen with flashbacks today. And Sierra made like had a confessional where it's like it's definitely sucks to be in a bad relationship, but when you're on TV and everyone sees it and they know it's bad, and then you find out it's bad, like everyone lets you know about it, like you're an idiot for being in this relationship. I thought that was like a cool moment for her to like explain that, because I never understood how somebody that looks as good as Sierra and is, I think she's pretty cool, is with somebody like Austin. I just never understood it because he's just a total goober loser. So was glad she spoke on it. I'm sure that happens a lot in a bunch of shows, not just on Bravo, but I'm sure all networks when you're on, even in the athletes. I'm sure when you're in a relationship on that's a public, that everyone can see it, and then it goes terribly, people are going to let you know about it even a couple years later. So she said she's still dealing with that, so she's a little more cautious about like being with somebody that I guess could screw her over again or make it look stupid. That's like the fear there. Um, so another thing is at the end of this episode, there kind of like went by a little more quickly than I thought it was. My notes aren't that long, but I mean at the end, Lindsay's talking to Paige and I think Amanda, and then Carl is talking to Kyle and Jesse. At least I think those are the ones that are to me. Oh, Craig, I think Craig's there too. So they're kind of both having a conversation about their like Craig and Carl and Lindsay's relationship, like where it's at. So Paige is like, look, I want you to be happy. Like she did this, she gave the same advice to Amanda 2 summers ago when she was like worried about where she was with Kyle. Um, I thought they're all fair points. Paige is like, look, I'm probably gonna side with you a little bit in these on the arguments, and the guys are probably gonna side with Carl. And again, not totally surprising. Jesse asked a question like, "Hey, maybe you to Carl, hey, maybe with all the stuff you guys are dealing with already, maybe you should like either delay the wedding or pump the brakes a little bit, or like maybe you should start questioning like, hey, is this a good idea?" And I completely agree with it. Like he's been on the show for 6 episodes, so he doesn't even know. Like he's just seeing. He's the most like pure to all the people on the show, like their dynamics in the house, and that to me, if somebody's saying that and they barely even know you, that's like a sign right there. So something to think about for next week. I mean, again, we all know the outcome of how the season's going to go, but it's just fun. It's not nice to see, but it is interesting to see these things develop and how it's going to impact everyone in the house. And like they're eventually all going to have to give their viewpoints. And I wonder at some point they're gonna talk to Lindsay and the girls are going to talk to Carl. I mean, I don't know, anything can happen. So looking forward to that. Yeah, good episode. I enjoyed it. So just make sure to check out all of our other things we did this week. We had Amazing Race, we had Survivor, we had the finale of The Bachelor. I have my Love and Hip Hops on TikTok. Um, Below Deck, Deal or No Deal. I guess they'll be out when they be out. I'm not sure. That's Bill and Brett over there, but maybe next week. Not 100% sure. Can't promise anything. I will have Ready to Love season finale. Probably out tomorrow. I think if I'm dropping this in the afternoon, late afternoon, I'm gonna probably do that one for Saturday morning. Schedule it, but yeah, make sure to let us know of any new shows coming up. I know we have F Girl Island, Lovers and Liars, whatever they want to call it, is starting soon. We have a couple other shows. I can't. It's kind of drawing a blank, but we do have some new shows coming out that we will definitely be covering and checking out. And like I always say at the end of any review that I do, make sure to give us any show suggestions that you want us to check out. Always we'll give them a chance and we'll maybe do a review on it. If it's, to me, it's worth the time. So appreciate you guys all for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I will talk to you in the next video. See ya.